penalty to carry. Her best form has come on a quicker surface, but she's got form with some giving the ground, and she's run to a level earlier on in the season that should see her fairly competitive, even though she's got the penalty to carry.
Number 9 is Queen Himiko, had one run 25 days ago when well held at a price. Laura Pearson, Jane Chapel-Hyam.
Yes, study of Man Filly, who was 34 grand as a yearling. Don't mind her as a type. She just didn't look really sharp enough or clued up enough first time out, so she might take a step forward for having had the experience. And again, physically, I prefer her to a few of the others.
Newcomer number 10 with Zest, daughter of Romanised, Ryan Moore, Sir Michael Stout.
Yeah, out of a winning miler who was by Pivotal. She's sort of there in the market. Haven't had a close look at her on this side of the paddock just yet, but just from afar she looks a little bit lengthier and scopier than one or two of the others, and maybe would go on into next season. Some of the others looking a little bit sharper, handier types perhaps. 3
is Pashala in the Pashala Partnership colours, daughter of Persian King, Kieran Shumar, Amanda Perrett. She's a 50,000 guinea yearling. We'll see how she goes on debut out of stall number 11. And then behind is the more fancied horse number 7. And that is Misty Sky. She's had a couple of goes. She's had 4 goes so far, number 7.
Yep, and the way that she ran at Hamilton when going down in a tight finish last time out suggests that a step up to 7 furlongs for the first time will suit. It is going to be a more testing surface this afternoon for her, but she's got experience. The trip could bring about some improvement. The ground will be an unknown quantity. She's just a little bit on her toes. She knows what's ahead of her already, but she's not getting worked up. Again, she's got the 2 handlers. She just looks like she's sort of ready to go, and she's fresh and well, just nicely on her toes.
Finally, now number 10 is in front of us with Zest, a line on her.
Yeah, staying nice and relaxed. You can just see having a bit of a look around and flicking her ears, just a little bit of greenness about her, but I don't mind her at all. The horse that I like most in the paddock probably is number 2.
Live Each Day.
William Haggers, yeah.
OK, that's your lot.
Windsor in July, number 1, Fleet Water. Queen Himiko follows, light blue with the maroon spots. Laura Pearson in the colours of Lawrence Holder. Rides for trainer Jane Chapel-Hyam on the 9. Next is the newcomer with Zest, number 10. Purple with the red star and sleeves, Ryan Moore rides for trainer Sir Michael Stout. Then the 7, Misty Sky, dark blue with the red disc, Diva Racing Silks. Aidan Keeley is aboard for trainer Hugo Palmer.
Our horses making their way down for the first at Newmarket on 2-year-old day, and it is a 2-year-old race. Colleague, about 65 on exchange. She's warm there. She's 11-10 here. Roger Varian won with 5 of his last 10 runners. With Zest, 11-2. Misty Sky, 13-2. 7-1. Live Each Day. Fleetwater, 15-2. Queen Himiko, now 16-1. 22s. And bigger the rest. Angus McNay alongside to give some context to Newmarket, but also a very quick word on Navan before we begin.
Yeah, we had a good winner of the first race. It was an evenly run contest, bang on par in terms of the finishing speed percentage for the winner, but the time was well under the race IQ par, so the ground might be quicker than the advertised yielding. I think it could be more good to yielding than yielding. More evidence to come. What about this race at Newmarket? What I wanted to do was look at the par sectionals, what we can expect through this race for fillies over 7 furlongs on soft ground at this track. Those are the par numbers you'd be looking for. Now, you look on your screen during the race and have a look at what the leader is doing through the contest. And if the 2nd furlong, 3rd furlong, 4th furlong are well under 12 seconds, then you know they're going just a little bit quick. And the 5th and the 6th furlong, well, if they're around about 12 or under, you know that they are finishing the race off quickly. It's just a guide to how the race is being run as you look at the sectionals on the screen, and the par time is 1:29.2 for fillies over 7 furlongs in a novice stakes at the Rowley Mile. So take some of those figures in, but the big takeaway is that if they're going under 12 seconds rather through the first 3 furlongs, they're going quick.
Good stuff from Angus. So Tom, Chris Carliga is an 11-10 shot on exchange, a warm order to win this on debut and continue the good form of Roger Varian.
Yeah, thanks very much, Nick and Angus. That is Live Each Day, who is just going down with a little bit too much zest. We both liked her in the paddock. She looked really relaxed. She did have a red hood on. She's still got it on. She's not so relaxed out on track, as you can see. So that wouldn't be a positive anyway. I mean, she's not doing too much, but she's not exactly calm and relaxed and within herself there, I'm afraid. But she's got a rail for a bit of help, and Tom's just trying to restrain her as much as possible as she heads down to the start. Qualiga is pretty solid atop the betting. Jack Mitchell, Roger Varian. Her demeanour was a positive.
Yeah, it was, definitely. It was a definite plus, the way that she was handling the prelims. So Dan was a useful winner. She was a listed winner in France. She also had form here in listed company as a young horse. She actually broke her maiden here at the Dam. Ground-wise, she was kept to good to soft or quicker. So
this should be fine
on the heel test. But on a serious note, we will sort of see, because it is a track that dries out quickly. She was just from a good family, wasn't she, the Dam? I think she was a relative of 4 black type horses, and she got black type herself. So a lot to like on that front. Good bit of stamina down that side of her pedigree as well, and she is going down quite nicely. So I think she was another positive from the paddock, and you'd have a bigger tick next to her going down to the start than you would Live Each Day, who was, as you say, a little bit too free going down. That red hood on, they obviously knew to some extent that she was going to be a bit that way out. She seemed fine in the paddock, but once she got out onto the track, a little bit freer than perhaps was ideal on her way down. But I don't think it was a case of having run a race before she's got there, so it wouldn't sort of massively put you off. You'd just put it as a slight negative based on that, and she might... It might be the same thing in the race once the hood comes off, but we shall see.
William Haggis has won this a couple of times in the last 10 years with Rainbow Heart. He's won it with Canterbury Bell. They were not debutants though. Rainbow Heart had one, and Canterbury Bell I think had a couple before coming here to lose the maiden tag. We'll see how the race develops, or where it develops as well. I mean, the stalls are in the centre. We'll see what's in the riders' minds as to whether or not, you know what it's like. You can get 2 groups in a 5-run race on the width of the track, but we'll see exactly what they want to do. I feel that they're certainly into the the Cambridgeshire meeting, there was a preference in the first couple of days to be stand side, albeit the Cambridge was won over the far side, but ultimately we'd prefer a group down the middle, wouldn't we? Or one group staying together.
Yeah, one group staying together, wherever that ends up being, whether they edge towards a rail. I mean, you do often find at the back end of the season here that one rail or another can end up being the best ground. You see it time and again that horses who often making the running on the rail can prove very hard to peg back.
Well, and there was a time when, I mean, certainly Middle Park, Cheveley Park Day, there was a time when the stalls were up against the stand side rail and you were getting horses. Yeah. I remember Ryan Moore and Sheep Murphy making all up that rail a good few times across those couple of days, because you were getting horses that were ridden up that side. So, but obviously in the centre here, and they have kept it to the centre for all the big meetings by and large, and for this as well, you at least get a choice of where you want to go. That is horse number 6. Price about just dawned on me for Adam Farrer and Amy Murphy. Adam Farrer is back on board. Let's touch a bit more on With Zest, the Romanised filly. She's on debut for Sir Michael Stout, Ryan Moore.
Yeah, quite an interesting one, really. Intrigued to see how she gets on this afternoon. She's a first full, so there's not a huge amount to go on in terms of her pedigree aside from what the dam did. And the dam was a winner on the track without getting to a particularly high level. She ended her career with a rating of 77, and she did improve from 2 to 3 herself. She gained her only win on the all-weather as well. She was by Pivotal, but she was related to a good number of winners. Only one of them, I think, got black tight, but there was lots of multiple winners in that family. So quite an interesting runner. As you say, she's by Romanised. I thought she looked like she would progress a little bit for the run, but didn't mind her. Didn't think it looked a hugely strong race for a Newmarket Novice, but it is a restricted one for bands B, C and D, so none of the very top bands. So it is for those that were bought on a little bit more of a budget, and I think you could sort of see that beforehand. Yeah,
there is the Romanised filly, topper shot, Romanised winner at 2, 3 and 4, including the Irish Guineas in the Prix Jacques Lemarrois with his first crop this year. With Zest as well, and hasn't had a huge amount of runners. And then Misty Sky's sort of the other end of the spectrum with lots of experience and actually not without support as well, into 5 to 1 now, Chris.
Yeah, is attracting a little bit of money, which is eye-catching enough, because I do feel that step up in distance is likely to bring about a little bit of improvement in Misty Sky, who has got better with each start so far.
Well supported.
And might get better once again. And has got a mark of 71, which you would normally think would need to be, you'd need to run to higher than 71 to win a Newmarket Novice, really, even a restricted one. But there could be some improvement, and it might mean that she does run to a slightly higher level than that. Just looking last 12-month strike rates of 2 of the more interesting ones of the debutants, Roger Varian in excess of 20% with his 2-year-old debutants in the past 12-month period. So that's a good strike rate, and William Haggis, I think he's up at 17%. So again, a good record with 2-year-olds first time out.
Pashala's been 12 months. Pashala's been supported as well. Another from a first season start, Persian King.
Yeah, interestingly,
Amanda Perrott, Kieran Schumott, but just about halved in price.
Yeah, a similar stamp of horse actually to the other Persian King in the paddock. You could almost, I haven't seen loads and loads of them, but they were a similar type of looking horse, I thought, both the Persian Kings. She was out of a useful mare called Hulkert, who stayed really well. There's quite a bit of stamina down the dam side of her pedigree.
Yeah. She, trained by Clive Cox, she liked a bit of cut in the ground. So I think just the last few to go forward. They've by and large been pretty well behaved. Takes a while to get these juveniles in with plenty of newcomers. But here we go. First race of the day on 2-year-old day is Alex Fussey.
Thanks, Tom. Afternoon, everyone. All in. Ready. They're off. Underway in the opener, the Prestige Vehicles Fillies Restricted Novice. They go 7 furlongs in trip here. Not the best of breaks by Penn Avenue. Is going to drop towards the back of the field early on. Misty Sky, dark blue and red colours, got a good beginning right up there. Also handy is Bailey's Value, who's just going to take the trail. With Zest is next in the order, just away to the left as we're looking on. Reading to the right, Fleetwater there in the beige and black is prominent, and also Kathleen Mary, the light green colours, moving into that front wave. Carliga back in behind them. Good little spot, settled nicely in behind the front 4 or 5. Away to the far side of the group, the left is Live Each Day. Queen Himiko already getting a little squeeze along in the saddle. Penn Avenue right down the order still. Also Pershala back of the field. And away to the far side, just dawned on me, and Zarakel in amongst that rear division. But Misty Sky, winding it up, committing quite away from home, still has the advantage of about 3 parts of a length. On the left with Zest is trying to move up and produce an effort. Kathleen Mary is next in third. On the right, Fleetwater is also starting to get involved and moving into it quite well. Carliga can't get to this front wave as they go inside the final third and a half. Misty Sky is finding extra. Misty Sky still in front, seeing off with Zest. Fleetwater then back in third. Kathleen Mary is in fourth. Into the last 150 yards with Zest is galloping on, trying to get to Misty Sky. Misty Sky is still in front by 3 parts of a length, and Misty Sky will hold on. Beat with Zest, a good run on debut. Fleetwater finished in third, and Kathleen Mary was fourth.
Yeah, Misty Sky dominates. Aidan Keeley, Hugo Palmer. She's always been towards the 4. It was very much experience to the 4 with her, and front runners to the 4 as well. And in a race where not many got into it, with Zest has run with a good deal of promise on her debut, not quite giving Romanized a second success. Ryan Moore, Sir Michael Stout, and Fleetwater for Stanmore and David Probert. Good run on plenty of experience for Fleetwater. But they have pulled a good way clear, those front 2. And Misty Sky has come out on top pretty comfortably at the end, Chris.
Yeah, well backed, so forewarned by the market. Good bit of experience behind the first and the third. The third, a previous winner. Promising debut from With Zest in second. Pearce has held up well, as you rightly pointed out. Angus will have be analysing those par sectionals against what we were from what I could remember. I think it was a slightly faster finish than the par. It might back up your theory that the ground is drying out. We shall see. But the pace definitely held up well, and the front couple have pulled a long way clear of the rest. And I think that step up in trip has definitely brought about improvement in the winner, who was strong all the way to the line, having travelled well up with the pace from a very early stage.
Fleetwater was well away, just slightly restrained by David Probert. Really well away was the eventual winner, Misty Sky. So too with Zest, pretty well away, travelling over towards that far side. Let's touch on Carliga. Just chivied along a little bit early on. There were warning signs really from gates opening, and she's been disappointing.
Yeah, bit of greenness, not travelling maybe quite as kindly into the race you would have liked. I think it is just a bit of greenness. Live Each Day was quite keen to post, was just on the flank a little bit early on and just took a while to relax. Could be one that